Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining our ninth installment of our Tech Talks. I see that people are still joining, but we have packed agenda today. Today we are gonna be demoing and introducing the new development of the Oro team, Oro DevBox. This is something that we created specifically to improve the lives of people developing on Oro. So let's get started. So first of all, what I'm going to cover today, as I said, we have a lot of the things on the agenda, so I'll try to be quick with the introductions and short announcements. Then we will share a few use cases for which we specifically developed this tool, and highlight the benefits that we expect this tool to bring to our tech community. And then we will move actually to the live demo of the Oro DevBox. We will look at setting up the remote environment. We will live on the go make few front-end and back-end code notifications and see how they are deployed through Oro DevBox. And also we will take a look at testing and debugging with the Oro DevBox. As the demo goes on, please remember to use Q&A section and ask your questions at the end. We will try to have 5 minutes to answer your questions, and even in case we go a little bit over and we don't have the time to answer all the questions live, please rest assured we always get back to everyone asking questions, and we will share after the webinar, the recording, the slides, and answers to all the questions that you asked during the webinar. Okay, so few short announcements. I know that today we have a number of our partners on the call during the webinar. I would like to draw your attention in case you haven't yet signed up to the Oro Partner Update that is taking place this Thursday, 5 p.m. Central European Time or 11 a.m. Eastern Time for North America. Please make sure to sign up. I'll be sending the links into the chat in case, again, you missed it and you need to make sure you're there, because this is a very important one. So it's kind of the one where we're wrapping up the year. There will be a lot of exciting updates. We'll be sharing the go-to-market strategy, the product vision for the next year. So we really encourage you to be there if you're an existing Oro partner. And as usual, I'm reminding you that we are open to your ideas, and we're looking forward to enthusiastic speakers to join our Tech Talk series. We are building the agenda for next year. Yeah, so please pitch your ideas. Don't hesitate. We still have a few spots left for next year. You can reach me directly at anna@oroinc.com. So today's speaker, today Sergey Mesnoy is here with me, our software engineer at Oro Inc. He has overall over 10 years of experience in PHP development, and so he started his career developing, customizing, migrating large e-commerce projects. As it often happens with e-commerce developers, he started with Magento 2. But for the past 7 years, he's been with Oro. He contributed to very crucial, important core product features, including Elasticsearch, Redis, RabbitMQ services. He developed Jenica payment integration, optimized the code, and has done a lot of amazing work. He's actually the main brain power behind the Oro DevBox, so you will be receiving the demo from the author of the tool. And yeah, so his current focus is mostly on this, right? So the development improvement cloud supporting tools, and this is what he's currently focusing on. So before I let Sergey take the stage, let me also quickly go over a few of the use cases and the benefits that we see in Oro DevBox. So first of all, what Oro DevBox is, this is a virtual environment for developers that was built specifically to create the secure remote workspace where you can develop Oro applications. Currently, it is working for both community and enterprise versions for 5.0 and 5.1 versions of Oro applications, all the Oro applications. Basically, what it does, it shortens the learning curve of the application for new Oro developers, because we know from your feedback that for new people, it can sometimes take from a day to several days to set everything up, to adjust all the tools, to configure the environment and start actually developing. And with the DevBox, where you have everything pre-configured and pre-installed already, the launch time shortens basically to an hour. So another use case, in case you're not new to Oro, right? This is just basically a remote workspace that you can use. We all know that unfortunately, sometimes even when you don't have to work, right? Let's say you're taking a vacation, but some fires come up, you need to extinguish them, and you just need to be on the safe side, right? And this is also a good place, meaning the Oro DevBox, to put your projects that you're working on. And then you will have the ability to reach that remote workspace, to reach your project anytime, anywhere you are, right? And you don't have to necessarily have your laptop, your computer with you. And actually, the power of your computer or your laptop is absolutely relevant here, right? So unless you have an internet connection, you can basically access your projects even via a tablet with a keyboard, for example, right? And you can work. Another good use case that we've seen is we know when prospects and leads start researching, sometimes they prefer to send their developers to check out the application before they even reach out to us or to our partners, right? And again, when previously setting up the community version took a few days, that was not very helpful. But now with DevBox, again, they have this opportunity to look under the hood of the application, to play around with it, to customize a few things, look at the code right within basically an hour or two. And of course, debugging and testing tools that are already pre-configured specifically for Oro applications. This is also a very important benefit that you're getting with this tool. And yeah, so these are the 4 main use cases that we thought are important. Please do let us know if you see anything else. And we would love, as usual, to hear your feedback as you start using it. So with it, I'm passing the stage to Sergey.
Good day. Let me share my screen. Second. All right. So, I would like to introduce you to the DevBox. Also, as Anya mentioned, is the cloud-based virtual machine for the single or application instance development. All tools we have set up in here. It's kind of a very lightweight VM with the only Docker inside, and all the features, all services we have here, they are running within the Docker containers. What actually it consists of? We have the preset up container with the PHP. We have a Symfony server. This is kind of Symfony tool. PHP actually also has the Xdebug configure. We have the Redis, we have RabbitMQ, we have Mongo, we have Git, we have the Postgre here. We have the UI tools to manage all this.
Sergey, you got muted for some
Right.
reason.
Sorry. Uh, all this, we have the web-based tool for the Mongo. It's Mongo Express. I can show you here. We have RabbitMQ admin. It's here. We have Kibana for the managing indexes and reviewing the logs. It's here. Um, Also, we have a PG admin. As much as possible, they are pre-configured. Once it requests you some kind of credentials, you will find them in the dedicated README tab. I will show you then. And I would like you to start the installation procedure of the DevBox. So it can be found on the through the marketplace search, Google Marketplace search. So the link you will see then, and Diane will share it with you. So the initial dialog looks like this. So we have the small manifest, what it includes here. We have the approximate calculation of pricing. That's not pricing. We actually demand from you. The tool itself is free of charge, but it's meshing time that Google will charge you. Right. Let me start the procedure. It's pretty fast actually. So on this dialog, you can choose your zone, just like you would deploy any of your Google application. Uh, as a Google application, yes, here. You can choose the version. It's a 5.0 or 5.1. Yes, and you can also you can have the IP setup here. If you don't have reserved external IP, you can use it ephemeral. We can handle situation with the change in IP while shutting down and starting the virtual machine once again. The network connection settings you should not touch here. That's the not routing of the ports needed for the web UI. So, and you can start the deploy. I received one question from one of our guests, and it relates to the OS 6 system. It doesn't actually depends on the OS since it's fully web-based tool. You don't have to do anything on your side. So everything is in the cloud. You will have the web-based IDA. It's VS Code fork developed by the Git pod, and everything will be done in the web browser. So just we need to wait a little bit. It will be deployed. While we're waiting with the deployment, I can show you the already prepared experience. So this is actually how it looks like. You have the ID web page where you can work with this VS Code fork as you actually work from your desktop version of it. So it can be a little bit trimmed in terms of using short keys combination, keys combination, and yeah, because we have some kind of a web browser restrictions for that. Right, just a second. As we see, the deployment has already performed. We can get to the page itself. Once it utilizes a secure connection and no SSL certificate attached over here, we can just take a risk and proceed. Additionally, we protect it with the basic authorization, so no one can actually, it will be harder to the other person to get to your machine if he actually want to, especially for IDE, to change your files. So it basically he must know your API address, but anyway, we protect it. After the application is already deployed, DevBox has been deployed, we provide you with the credential on this page. And yes, uh, this page you can actually get once again from the deployments in the Google Cloud environment. The link will be provided by the end uh, at the end. And actually, you can get this information in the custom metadata on the virtual machine uh, information page on the Google Cloud. So let me see. Okay, just a second. All right. So that and there was a question about the price. The price charge is only for the machine time. You pay for the GCP. So now we get to the newly deployed DevBox. We have the two tabs. One of them is README. So it contains short information about what it is actually, information about the UI tools, the credentials you need to reach these UI tools, and actually have some information about the testing approach. It can be used within the DevBox to test our application. And it has the small bash aliases list for the most recent operation used during the working with the DevBox. Okay, so the second one, the second tab is one of the one part of the manifest to go through. It's a checklist of the actions to walk through. It's very useful to set up your environment additionally, like here, basic authentication. We won't be changing from during our demo, but actually you can write it anything you need, username and the password, but then you need to reload the browser since it some of the parts of VS Code they will be attaching to the previous authentication setup, and you just need to open and close browser and open once again this link. Okay, so we skip it. The following step is to set up Git identity. Will be used to run Git operations. It's kind of Git like Git blame. We can save it. The following step is to use to provide the key. Um, we recommend you to use the pre-generated key to configure it on your site. We have links for the two most popular hostings like GitHub and GitLab. GitLab is not the some kind of um, for the company oriented, it's the basic one, but for the GitHub, we'll provide some. If you open that page, it's already have the, it's essential to create a new key. Restore the key.
Sergey, you got muted again.
After you have saved it on the Git hosting, you can proceed with applying this Git key here. So after you have set up your SSH credentials, you are capable of clone repository. We'll be using here, for example, the enterprise version of application. And the tech, one of the most recent version is 5.3. And as Annie mentioned, you actually can use not enterprise version of the application. You can use the community version of the application since it will be no restrictions here to copy it. And as for the newcomers, they are able to just make some small revision of the code and the quickly install application. It can take, if you walk through all the steps, uh, from 20 to 35 minutes to set up it. All right, so the following step is to provide the Git tokens for running Composer dependency system. I will create my new one here. There's the two links for the GitLab and for the those title is preset from the description parameter. I use my own. And for the GitHub, this settings will be enough to just to read repository information. Okay, we have, and we are able to save it and apply. Once again, as I mentioned, there's a kind of limitation in this fork of this code running in a browser for the clipboard and the keyboard shortcuts. All right, so we can proceed. This procedure can take some time, and I can devote some time to another topic. Right, start installing Windows. As you can see, all information about the status taken from the sub process is displayed here. So once it goes something wrong, you can revise it after it failed. While it's running, the interaction with the form is blocked for the moment while it's just running. All right, we'll go to the another slide. Okay, I would like to talk to you about the hard testing here. Here we actually have following tool pre-set up. We have the solenoid running in a container. That's the tool contains Chrome browser and the Chrome driver. The application interacts with the Chrome driver, and the Chrome browser runs in that container, and this container also contains the small operating system with the X Windows server, and it has the remote access through the VNC protocol, and the VNC server is running on that tool. Another tool is the VNC client, web-based VNC client. As you can see, it's already connected to the solenoid, and it displays the desktop of that container. It can reconnect sometimes. I set the automatic, and for this container, for this client, I set up the view mode by default. You can actually get this get to it through the README. Here, just a second. I'll show you here. Here it is. Yes, one thing about the limitation, these can be harder to copy these links, but you can actually make a double click on any empty field here, and you are good to go to follow any link. So, all right. I'll go to the preset up prepared instance of the DevBox, and I am trying to show you how actually the hard testing runs here. You can set up hard application with the prepared the bash alias. It's application. Oh, sorry, behat application install. So it will run the procedure, it will install application, and will set up all necessary parameters of application. In 5.1 version, it's made major improvements to have the behat tested application um, distincted from the main application. So the Symfony container and caches, this will be separated. It just manages some few files to switch it from the main application to the behat application. So I have the behat application here installed, but I need just to switch it on it. I'm working with uh, the main application I need to. The main application is handled by two environments, development and production. The behat has this dedicated environment, behat tests, and as well as the test application for the functional test. It has its own environment name test. So I'm turning off the behats. Oh, we already passed the uh, composer installment. So this step, I beg your pardon, I interrupted the previous one. This step actually in this manifest, it relates to setting up the request in the SSL certificate. Once you have not ephemeral IP creating your virtual machine, but the reserved API, and you have set up its DNS, you are capable to request the SSL certificate by binding SSL certificate. We wouldn't have it now. You can skip it. It's no problem for the newcomers. They just can skip the basic authorization and SSL certificate setup. They good to go without it. So just to as has to say to touch our application. So we just skip it, and we run the installation of application. All right. Here we are posting username, user email. That's the main back office user you will be using for the first entering the back office of the application. Here you enter password and the organization. So there's an ability to have the install sample data. It can require some extra time. I will demonstrate to you the front end of pre-populated sample data now on my prepared instance. So I'm clicking install, and once it's installed, we are ready to see application itself deployed already. So if you skip my timer spent for my talks, it should be much more faster just to get the application even without even with this sample data installed. So we are getting back to the behat test. I just wanted to show you execution actually looks and okay. Okay, I will run you a short feature. It can take about 2 or 3 minutes. It actually gets one of the CMS page and marks it in the our web catalog. We have a web catalog node, and it should appear on the front end menu. And then it just switch it off. Let's run. We run it from the root folder of the application. In the workspace, we just have one. This one I have just experimental created here, but actually we have just one HTML here. Once you, I forgot to mention about the about the terminal. It's one of the important things. You can operate with the uh, main container where the PHP runs, where the code is, through the terminal. It can be opened from here, and there's an option to open it from here. And the information about how actually works, you can get from the link that Anna will provide you below. So this is, we see the execution step of the so-called gherkin. It's the human readable syntaxes that allows the person who are not quite familiar with the anything related to systems to understand what actually happens. Here we see execution here, and here we see the how it's actually should be in terms of the user experience. So we're running. So you can see, should be, you can see it showed the test page here, and now it will disable it. So let's reload, and there is no test page here. Sorry. This is my instance. It's almost done. We have passed through the execution. You can see as it writes. You can acknowledge with the all necessary information how to run automated tests from our official documentation. The links will be provided. So this is what in terms of the behavior tests. So once you do everything necessary with the behavior test, you can go back to the, you can switch to the main application. This. Behavior awful, sorry. So this is a quite fast procedure to perform. So we switch back to the application and we see it running. And let me check. Yes, it's almost the application we are going to deploy, not to prepare. It's about to deploy. So now I'm showing you my prepared instance. Okay, we have switched off. So this is how it actually looks here. So this is an application you will get when you will install it with the install sample data. So you can touch it. It will take you about in half an hour if you go just right through the all steps you need. And the community edition is a bit more, a bit less heavy, so it should be even faster. All right. Yeah, I forgot to mention we have the mail capture tool here, so you can send your emails and capture them and review them. All emails that comes from the application with the capture tool. We have the UI tool to monitor it too. Right. So yes, we ended up with installing the application process. Also, you can provide the Blackfire agent credentials like server ID and server token. So you'll be able to profile in your web calls. You can actually skip this step. So we ended up installing our application, and we can now visit it. We take the credentials, as I mentioned here. Once you change it, it's you can use your own credentials. Right. So this will actually, you'll get working through this all steps. If you choose to install the demo application, you will get this. So this all you need to have vanilla application running. And as I mentioned before, on that slide, we have mentioning about the functional test execution. So we can get to it. So as for functional tests, we have it described in the README file. Just a second. Yes. It's important to follow the information written here. We won't be running the whole test suite. We'll be running just one dedicated. Dedicated test. Bottom. The general information about the how is about the testing approach is pointed also here that you can acknowledge with the documentation. The unit function. I've just run one command. So it runs the PHP unit. We have the pre-installed application. It's very important to use this variable before running it. Okay. I wanted to mention about the PHP. The PHP versions are handled through the Symfony client tool. So it expects to have a PHP version file within the catalog. It's very important. And it picks up the version from the system you have. We basically have here 8.1 and 8.2 in here because this actually code is universal for both instances you choose, whether it's 5.0 or 5.1. So it's 8.1 also present here. But it's actually more targeted to 8.2 version. So it's important to have this file. And it actually comes with the Anywhere application. Okay. Going to the custom code application. I added on my prepared instance a few one bundle, just a copy of our task bundle. Here I will show you small changes. Just changing the, for example, simple to a template. And another one is important is the theme. So once you have new code added to your system, I provide a small set of tools, a small set of the shell aliases that will allow you to optimize, write less to run it. We have a platform update. So you need to run after you add your bundles to the SRC folder. The documentation how to create a new bundle and and about the fulfillment and the elements components You can get it from our official website, and Anya will provide you the links. Then you need to run the platform update then. It has all necessary steps like clearing caches and so on. So once it's run, you will have your code picked up and theme too. So, but as for the version 5.1, the actually extra action is needed because if you have a new theme elements and especially assets like the CSS images, the GS, it needs to be assembled with our packer, we're using the Webpack here. So I have this small this is one of the assets installed. It will install them hardly. So, and you can use the symlinks. The symlinks is a very important part to have to have an ability to make updates on the fly. So it's the symlinks install. Once you have the assets symlinks installed, you are able to run assets watch. So assets watch is the tool that allows you to rebuild on the fly theme. It just tracks the changes of your file within the theme file. So I already run it here. It shows the status of the rebuilt themes. So I'll just show you how actually we can, for example, change something on the theme. And we can check what we have before updating file where we want to make the changes. So we have this theme unchanged. We'll do it following. We first apply color shift for the image. Waiting here, it should change. It should be updated already. So then we update page, and we should see shifted color here. Yes, it's okay. And another one is to change colors from the file with the variables we override for the default theme. That's the CSS file. All right. Okay. I comment the base color, and I can choose very similar to what we have the color shift for the logo. All right, this should be already done. Okay, reloaded. So this is it from the theme update perspective. Okay. As for the back office, we can try to the following. We can not here, but button, another one. We can switch to the development mode. All right, and go to the view page. It will also show you working off tweaks and Blade engine that accept changes on the file and change it doesn't caches all the time. Here, a little warm up for the cache. Okay. So actually we have two buttons. I just make simple duplicate. Now we can tell it here. And should have the regular without no extra elements. So that's very easy a very, very simple example here. But it just shows us that the development mode on the DevBox environment, development system mode on the DevBox environment works as expected. Few moments and we'll reload it. No, no, anything. All right. Also, one thing I want to mention is database dump and restore. Within the DevBox, I have defined a few aliases that can help you to do so. It's db restore, db connect, and db dump. All they are wrapping PG tools, command line tools. It's both PSQL and the PG dump. The PG restore expects the SQL file and archive on its input. DB Connect is just connects to the console client with all necessary database connection set up and to the Postgres database. I can show you. So we connected to the Postgres database. Synchronization. You see the list of the database we have here. Okay. And the db dump lead. It's the kind of prefix alias with all necessary information, all necessary connection settings pointed, except we don't point the database we want to dump and the output stream, the file db dump. Okay. I can create the dump current database. So we create a database dump, current application. We can list it. Here's the file. It's not big. It's only 18 megabytes only, right? And you can have it restored. As I said previously, db restore accepts only file, and it suggests to use the database of main application. So db restore. It informs you that database or DB will be reset. It will be reset. All necessary extension that is needed, they will be applied to this database. And once you enter yes, it shows the progress. There is no actually necessity of having Bihar test or test application dump to be made, since we can set to the if we have broke the application somehow with a test, we can reinstall it. It will take not that much time, 2-3 minutes or so, something like that. All right, and there was one I haven't highlighted in the documentation, but I kept it, is the dbconnect lead. It's very similar to the dbdump lead, except it's uses the same connection setup, but for the PSQL.
the PSQL utility, I can connect the way it just will be when I use the DB connect, for example. So I connect it to these Postgre database. Okay, so the list once again database. Okay, so this is about the DB dump in Bristol.
Let's us show you the XDeback usage. We have the XDebug preset in here, so we can also enable it. What it actually does, it setups the specific ini file and restarts the Symfony server, so the web sessions are handled by the XDebug. So we can run XDebug. I will show you just a simple example. We'll take the CRUD controller for the custom entity we have. Just a second. Once again, beg your pardon. So you can see it, as I defined at the endpoint, you can use the XDebug as you want. So, and the tool is here. As I mentioned before, the has some limitation on the shortcut. So step over and it will be the actions like this. You just have to run it this way, unfortunately. But anyway, it's absolutely usable. I use it in my everyday's work on the projects. Okay, so I will stop execution. We can disable it. Going back here regarding to the logs observation, we have our logs in the Kibana, not the Kibana, in the Elasticsearch. We use the logger handler that comes with the Symfony for having the logstash like items in the Elasticsearch, and for the Kibana, I have a small instruction how to review those logs. So how to create index pattern and how to go through this pattern. So just watching this. So it looks actually like this. So I filtered by the error level. I can remove it. So it shows everything I have. And we can add the filter type we need. So I beg your pardon. So, and any item you want, you can just expand it. So how to actually work with the Kibana discovery can actually acknowledge with the official documentation on Kibana site. So, all right. So what next? Yeah, and we have the Chrome logo. Yes, also it goes, this handle goes right after the Kibana log. I can show, and it works with the critical errors. Mostly since in the development mode, it will be, the errors will be shown before it goes to the log, to this handle. So I will switch off to the Symfony production and try to make some kind of mistake. Example, division by 0. Let me try this. It's on. Yes, you can see it's right here. It shows error in the just right in your browser once you install the Chrome Logger. So this also mentioned in the README documentation. Going back to the going back to the storing your code. As probably you know that the VS Code comes with the version control UI assistant for the Git especially, and you are able to view any changes from the UI perspective. I prefer to use the UI tool provided by VS Code for staging data, and as for the connecting data and pushing it, I prefer the work from the terminal. I will show you approach from the combine. I will stage, for example, changes through the UI, stage changes, and push to my repository, just from the terminal. Let me check the status. I see everything staged, and I can make commits. Let's see, it's the branch active shown here. So now you're good to go. It's in your remote. So I forgot to mention these. The steps of this can be used for the second time. Once you want to check another version, you can go to the, for example, Git repository setup, and you can clone from the new version. You'll have the warning. For example, if I do so, I'll do, for example, 5.2. It just warns you that everything will be erased. But this is it. So this is what is related to the Git. And you can take over. All right.
Thank you. Basically, yeah, so that's the most important part of the webinar, right? So the useful links and resources that you currently see on your screen to get in the follow-up email along with the slides, right, and along with the recording. We did have a few questions, but Sergey was really efficient in answering them on the go. We will also provide those answers to those questions in the slides as well, so that you get like the maximum benefit from the webinar. So here you see the links to everything you need to set up the Oro DevBox tool, and also any useful documentation that can help you start developing on Oro. One thing that I would like to highlight as well is that our documentation recently got updated. It moved to a new, more performant engine. So please do give it a try. From the customer experience standpoint, the search is supposed to be working better and faster now. And so we're hoping you will notice this and let us know your feedback. One other thing that you will notice in the documentation is that the older documentation versions that are older than 5.0 have been moved to a static versions, but the links are still there. They're available from the homepage of our documentation. So yeah, other than that, thank you very much. Please have a great, relaxing, cozy, or crazy and exciting, whatever you prefer, winter holidays. And we will see you next year for our next installment of our Tech Talks.